everyone and welcome to another video. So if you're new here, my name's Emma. This is Beast Books and Beauty, where I talk about my many pets, the books I love to read, and the odd makeup look to break things up. If you'd like to see more content from me, please click the subscribe button down below and let's get on with the video. So today is going to be a book haul and kind of a bit of a big one at that. I recently went down to Edinburgh with my fiance Ewan, and we spent a morning going round some bookshops and spending too much money on books, but oh well. It's all things that I'm really excited about and keen to read, and now I have some lovely books and I feel great about that. So even though I probably spent too much money, there's not that much guilt. So I will go through each of the books that I got. Primarily these were from Blackwell's and Waterstones in Edinburgh. Don't know my way around Edinburgh very well for looking at proper cool secondhand bookshops. If you have any recommendations for the next time I go down, please leave them in the comments. So Edinburgh is somewhere that me and Ewan are quite keen to settle in the future, so any recommendations of where to get excellent books would be much appreciated. I'm going to go through each of the books and give you a little bit of a spiel about them. Some of them I don't really know that much about, but let's just get into it. So when I went down, Waterstones had a table of buy one get one half price, so I kind of just took my pick from there. So what I got from there was one that I'm very keen to read, and I've been seeing all over BookTube and was very much keen to get, and this is Loveless by Alice Osman. So this, I believe, is about a young woman who has gone to university and is potentially finding out that she's asexual. So she's not really attracted to men or women or having much interest in a relationship. Yeah, so I think it's kind of her learning about herself and learning about being asexual or aromantic or anything like that. And I think this is very cool. And I'm very keen to read it. This one I saw on the channel Books Nest, Beth from Books Nest, and she really enjoyed it, so I'm keen to read this one. This is a BookTube darling. This is Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe, and this follows two teenage boys, I believe, and they meet and form a relationship, and I don't really know much more about it than that, except that loads of people rave about it and say it's wonderful. So I can't wait to get to this one. This is going to be really good. I'm hoping to read this in July. Another book that I've been really keen to read, hearing lots of good things about, is Holly Jackson's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So this is a book that I have been keen to read for ages, but never quite got round to it. So yeah, I am very keen, and I think it's kind of written in an odd way. I think it's got like case notes and interviews and stuff through it, so that should be really interesting. And I believe it's to do with the main character. I think her name is Pippa, and she looks into an old closed case as like a part of a school project, I think. But yeah, I'm keen to give this one a read. I've heard lots of good things about it, although someone that I do follow is Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction, and she hated this and DNF'd it. So we'll see if I feel the same way or if I actually really enjoy it. But I'm told the main character could be kind of annoying. We'll see. Now, this one is the favourite that I bought from Waterstones, and it's a really shallow reason why it's my favourite. But it has sprayed edges. It's so pretty! Sprayed edges. Super lovely. So, yeah, this is The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. And I think this is a young adult book about a young girl who, I think they get tested to see if they can be part of the community, and her blood is gold instead of being red, so she has to go and be she's basically an outcast because of her blood being gold, and she is going to become a warrior for the emperor, I think. Yeah, I don't know much about this, but I've heard good things. It's really pretty, and just look at the sprayed edges. So I had to buy this. But yeah, I'm keen to read this one. So that was all the books that I got from Waterstones, which was great. But I absolutely lost all control in Blackwell's, which is not a bookshop that I go to very often. There is one in my city centre in Aberdeen, part of the university buildings. And I remember going in there for like my university books and stuff, but it's definitely not a bookshop that I would go in to for fiction. But the one in Edinburgh is much better. It's huge for one thing. and it has a much better selection. So I bought quite a few things in there. So the first book that I bought in Blackwell's is another book that I've been hoping to read for a long time. It's also one I want to get the fiance to read as well, because I think he'll really like it. It's been sold to me as like a Firefly-esque kind of book. What was it that I just saw Jean Mingus from Jean's Bookish Thoughts call it? Hope punk? Is it hope punk? Because you get grimdark, and I think this is the opposite, which is hope punk. I could be completely wrong there, but that is what's coming into my mind. So this is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, and this is basically the Wayfarers series. It's a crew on a spaceship, and I think they just get up to adventures. But this is, I keep getting told this is amazing. When I picked this up in Blackwell's, the seller was like, by the way, this book is amazing. And I'm like, I keep getting told this, so I need to read it. So yeah, I am very, very keen, and I'm hoping that my fiance will read it as well and we can chat about it, because it's always fun when we get to do something like that. So that's one. And then my love of hardbacks kind of broke me a bit in Blackwell's. So kind of missing the boat with this one, but The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Now, obviously, this has been out a little while now. It was published this year, I believe. This is where I find out it was actually published last year, and I've just really, really missed the boat. Actually, this was published last year. I just said that was going to happen. So, this book, obviously, it's been around for a while. People rave about this book. I've never read anything by V.E. Schwab, but she is definitely well loved on BookTube. I actually have the Audible edition of this, but I've recently discovered that I'm not enjoying fiction, especially fantasy fiction, as audiobooks. I prefer crime and non-fiction as audiobooks. So the fact that I got this for like £1 or £1.99 on Audible, I was like, yeah, that's brilliant. But then I'm like, oh, maybe I won't enjoy it because I've not been enjoying fiction that way recently. So when I saw this beautiful beastie here, I was like, right, I'm going to give it a fair chance and read it as a physical copy and maybe do a bit of combination. But I'm not going to, I just realised the sticker's actually like part of the cover. I hate when they do that, make stickers part of the cover. Like, that does not make the book better looking to me. Anywho, I thought I'm going to read it this way because that is the best chance I have for enjoying it. Looks a bit chunky, but I'm very, very keen to read it. And I love how beautiful this hardback is. Like, the obsession with hardbacks this year has been a problem. Something else that I bought because people talk about it on BookTube is my next read. This one I bought because Maddie from Book Browsing Blog raves about it and says it's very fantastic and empowering and just, brilliant. This is Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. And I believe this is about three sisters and developing their witchcraft kind of thing. I don't know much about it, really. It's set in 1893, before kind of the witches burning, and then there's three sisters joining the suffragists of New Salem, and they are pursuing the forgotten sort of arts of witchcraft, I believe. Again, another bit of a chunky one, but I saw this on a table and I couldn't leave it. I had Maddie's voice ringing in my ears talking about how much she loved this book, so yeah, I picked it up. And then my last purchase that has an old sticker mark on it. I clearly did not take that off properly. Then my last purchase from Blackwell's was this gorgeous beastie here, Malice. Mrs. Malice by Heather Walter. So this absolutely beautiful tome here is, I think, Sleeping Beauty retelling, where the princess falls for the villain, which I think sounds absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I'm really, really keen to read this one. Now, another book that I recently purchased, this was not from my trip to Edinburgh, but arrived as we returned. I got this one off of eBay because I have recently purchased the Fairy Loot edition of A Poison Heart by Kaelin Bayron. I think that's what it's called. And I've yet to actually read this, but because they're kind of a set, really, sort of, I bought this one, which is super shiny. This is Cinderella is Dead by Kaelin Bayron. And this is set in the world where Cinderella was real, but it's been a couple of hundred years, I think, since her fairy tale ending off to the prince. And women are being forced to go to balls for princes to choose them. And then if they don't get chosen, I think they just kind of mysteriously vanish. So this is about a main character who, she obviously is coming to the age of going to these balls, but she doesn't really want to go and get chosen by the prince because she's actually in love with her best friend. Erin? Is it Erin? For some weird reason, I think it's Erin. Yes. Sophia would rather marry Erin than one of these princes at the ball. So I am very, very excited to read this. I've heard very, very good things. So yeah, and that's a beautiful hardback edition for my collection that is steadily, steadily growing. My poor TBR cart is going to be bowing under the weight of my to-be-read books. And said fiance has said I need to actually start reading the books that I own instead of just keeping on buying ones because they're pretty. So I need to start reading them and not just buying them. So fingers crossed I will get to this one very, very soon. And it keeps picking up my ring light because it's so shiny. But that was that one. So that's all the books that I picked up recently. That was a fair hefty haul for someone who's not meant to be buying loads and loads of books because the overflowing TBR cart mentioned is sitting there and it's piled up. There's 3 shelves and there's lots of books on there. And I also have other books over on my bookshelf that I have yet to read because I'm a bad person. Yeah, I have many books I have yet to read that didn't even fit on the cart. So anyway, that is my book haul. I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll have a great day. And that will be it for me. Hope you enjoyed and I will see you again in another video very soon. Bye.